Good morning. This is a quick recap of our presentation at the 2019 Pritchard and Jordan Risk Workshop. We started off by explaining the P4 process and how all four of the P's work together. In this workshop, we're going to focus on the pre-hire and post-offer considerations. I asked the group who has the biggest impact on safety. And it was split pretty evenly between managers, supervisors, and employees. When we talk about senior leadership, I asked the group to go download an article called CEOs Who Get It. If you will Google search the National Safety Council CEOs Who Get It, it's a great article to read to challenge your own organization. If they came and did an article on you, what would they say positive and what would they say negative about your organizational safety culture? I believe supervisors have the biggest impact on safety culture. And if your supervisors exhibit these characteristics, then you've got an intentional safety culture. But when polling organizations, only about 10% of the organizations actually had supervisor leadership training. We're kicking off a leadership series with 10 webinars in March. These are the topics we're going to cover. If you'd like to see more information, you can go to www.managecomp.net. But this is going to be a 10-part series designed to train up your organization, someone in your company, to go out and lead this effort within your organization. I'm really excited about the initiative, and if you're interested, again, go to www.managecomp.net for more information. Next, we talked about employee safety perception. And I think this is where the rubber hits the road. If you go out and do a perception survey, which I believe should happen every 2 years within an organization, you'll have a roadmap for improving your safety culture. Now, I warn everyone, if you do this perception survey, you've got to be ready to act on the feedback. If you'd like a copy of the safety perception survey, reach out to your risk advisor at Pritchard & Jordan and they can give you a copy. I showed some statistics about what I see. I've gotten tens of thousands of surveys back, and we highlighted some of the things we see. But again, if you will do this survey, it will tell you where you're deficient, and it'll give you a roadmap for improvement. I got pretty fired up about the drug-free workplace because I see a lot of organizations just kind of mail it in. They don't really spend the time to try to create an intentional workplace safety program. So we know in Georgia, under the law, you've got a stronger defense if you're a certified drug-free workplace. But we talked about some strategies to really kind of hit home because, again, if we go back to the employee perception survey, 87% of the people responded and said they know employees that are doing drugs next to them working. Most employees don't want to work next to people that are under the influence. So again, being intentional about how you implement your training is a big deal, and we've got some tools we can help you with that. Then we moved on to integrity testing. I can't tell you how many claims I've had where they said, gosh, we should have never hired the person. And integrity testing is a great tool. We've got a resource, a company that's done hundreds and hundreds of thousands of surveys, and it's an absolute predictor on who's likely to cheat, steal, file a workers' comp claim, or do drugs. So it's done in the pre-hire, and your risk advisor can point you to our vendor. The cost ranges from, depending on your organization side, maybe $10 to $18 a test. So it's not very expensive, but if you can cut out people that are predators and coming to work there, you're going to significantly reduce your workers' comp cost. Job descriptions is a great example of how the interplay between the 4 Ps. So we start out with the job description on the pre-hire basis. If you have a job description with the physical demands and you present it to the employee on a pre-offer, and then you later decide to withdraw the job offer at the post-offer health questionnaire, it gives you a much stronger defense with the EEOC. But we also know that the job description has a huge impact when you have a claim. If you look at the board form 240A, it's got the physical demands analysis on it. So if you're bringing someone back to a transitional duty job and you have to go through this 240 process, you're going to be required to have a physical demands analysis. If you go into our risk portal, we've got a new tool that can help you build job descriptions if you don't have them, including the physical demands analysis. If you don't have access to our risk portal, just reach out to your risk advisor and they can give you user credentials. I just quickly touched on background checks, and I just recommended, if you're not doing it, it's very low cost, get an address check on the person. It's really important because if you're looking at their application and they say, hey, we've lived in Georgia for the last 12 years, but you do an address check and you see they've been in 3 or 4 different states and they did not disclose that to you, there's probably something on their background they don't want you to know about. The post-offer health questionnaire. Very, very important to have one. Again, post-offer. We've got some guidance information on what to do with the information when you get it. So if it's clean and there's nothing on there, you always want to present this to the adjuster when you have a claim that you think might be a lost time claim. They're going to match it up against the injured employee's medical. And if they see they lied to you when they applied for the job and that lie was relevant to the injury, for example, they've had 3 previous knee surgeries, didn't disclose it, they worked for you for 3 weeks and say, oh, my knee hurts, you've got what's called a Rycroft defense in Georgia to deny the claim. Very important that you get the post-offer health questionnaire timely to the adjuster. Don't wait on them to ask for it, get it to them. Again, we've got guidance document to help you. We've also got a model form that you should consider using in English and Spanish. So the post-offer health questionnaire is a really important tool in Georgia. I think the new hire safety orientation is extremely important. It gives you the opportunity to set the tone in your organization. I recommend a 3-pronged process, starting with a safety video. This can be a stock new hire safety video or a customized video for your organization. Then number 2, you go to a safety checklist. This checklist is important because it codifies and documents that the employee has been told certain things. For example, PPE requirements, that reiterate the panel if you're in Georgia. And then finally, you've got the supervisor walkthrough. This serves 2 purposes. One, it is an involvement of the supervisor with that employee, showing the supervisor is involved in safety, managing safety within their department. Also, for the employee, it may be the only chance they have interaction with that supervisor. Really, really important to start the tone that safety is important, and that starts with the supervisor walkthrough. So that wraps it up. If you need a login to our risk portal, ask your risk advisor. Second, communicate your best practices. If you're doing things that we talked about in this training, make sure you communicate those things to the risk advisor. I guarantee it's going to make a difference on the pricing of your account. And let us know how we can be of service. If you're interested in our supervisor leadership series, just reach out to us. Also, if you're interested in implementing integrity testing, let us know and we can hook you up with our third party that conducts that testing. So thanks again for going through this quick overview. If you have any questions, again, reach out to your risk advisor.